Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 1 of the World Series, where the Astros lose 6-5 in the 10th inning. And let's try this again. So you probably are asking, what do I mean by let's try this again? This is the second time I'm making this video. I had it all recorded and done, and I was ready. I made the graphics, and as I got ready to take the files and put them on the computer to edit it together, maybe it was the time that had passed from the end of the game to when I was about to edit it. Maybe it was the quarter ramen that I had consumed. Something ticked in my mind, and I just calmed down. And I'm willing to admit, I might have overreacted. I think I had reason to, because that was a very bad game. But I'm not going to go to DEFCON 5 yet. I'm still mad about the game, and I'm still mad about what transpired. But I'm not going to blow my top yet. And I will specify yet. So let's talk about the game itself, because the Astros have a 5-0 lead. Kyle Tucker seemingly having a legacy game. 2 home runs in 2 at-bats. 4 RBIs. The Astros have a 5-0 lead in this game. And then completely biff it in embarrassing fashion. And that's what this was. This was an embarrassing game for the Astros. It just was. You have a 5-0 lead. No team has, in the World Series, blown a 5-0 lead since 20 years ago. That's bad. And there's no way around it. This was a gut-wrenching, embarrassing loss for the Astros. And it needs to be the wake-up call. Because the Astros, sure, they've been, kind of pushed. They haven't just waltzed to that 7-0 record coming into tonight. They had tough games. The first game against the Mariners was tough. The third game against the Mariners was tough. It went 18 innings, for crying out loud. Game 4 against the Yankees was a super close game. You had to come back a couple of times. But this was the first time that the Astros were not just kind of nudged, but fully pushed over. And it has got to be the team's wake up. Usual about the game. You want to blame this, that, or the other. Whoever you want to blame, the issue at its core is the same that it was in 19 and 2021. The team looks disinterested. They're not engaged. I don't know what the issue is that causes that, but they seem disengaged. And so if you wanted to have a punch in the face to make you go, oh, we need to actually, get our heads in it, this is what you do. This is the game to do it. Again, the 5-0 lead for the Astros. And everything through this game, credit the Phillies, credit Rob Thompson for managing the heck out of this game with his bullpen, credit to all the players who, despite being down 5-0, didn't let it get to them and battled back out of the hole. This is an Astros blown game at its core, and that's especially what I'm going to be focused on because, I talk about the Astros. Verlander was bad in this game. 5 innings of 5-run ball. He has got it in his mind that he just cannot pitch in the World Series. It's a mental block, and it hurts because, boy, oh boy, he's an amazing pitcher in the regular season, but then the month turns to October, and especially the late part, and for some reason he turns into a pumpkin. 5 earned runs, got 5 strikeouts if you want a positive, but 8 hard hit balls. He was bad. The bullpen was good. It was good. I have no complaints about the bullpen. Brian Abreu went an inning and 2/3, and he would load the bases, but a lot of the calls just didn't go for the Astros tonight, but we're not going to blame the umpires. We can blame the umpires in the result of individual players, but not for the overall game. Abreu would have had a better stat line if umpires would have given him some 50-50s, but we're not going to play that game too much. He would get 3 strikeouts in his inning and 2/3, which was neat. Hector Neris, who, has continued to dazzle in this postseason, picked up a strikeout to get out of the bases-loaded jam. Rafael Montero went an inning and picked up a strikeout, which is pretty neat for him. Presley looked great in the 9th. He got a strikeout. Garcia would give up the home run in the 10th to JT Realmuto, which is unfortunate. And people are going to get mad at Luis Garcia, and that's unwarranted, in my opinion. This is a starting pitcher who has been asked twice now to not pitch as his normal job, but instead come in as a reliever in extras. I'm not going to get on his case. Ryan Stanek would give up a walk, but also get out of the inning without surrendering any more damage. Hitting-wise, I already kind of touched on it. everything but Kyle Tucker was broken. People want to point at this individual or that individual, and you absolutely cannot do that. The top of the order combined to go 2 for 14. The bottom of the order was almost as bad, if not worse. McCormick and Molly both had base hits tonight. Molly's would score a run. It was an RBI, so that was nice. Yuli had a pair of base hits. Like, the offense is very much carried by Tucker tonight to make that 5 run seem better than it actually was. If you remove Kyle Tuckering, you get blown out 5-1 in this game. And you're probably watching to this point going, Weston, this doesn't seem like a happier version of the video. Are you sure you're editing the right one? I assure you I am. The first one was way worse than this. Because I say all of this, I say that it was embarrassing and it was blown and that everyone deserves a slice of the loser cake tonight. It's one game. The Astros have been a machine all postseason. They were a machine all regular season. And it's one game where a lot of things happened. Altuve had one of the hardest, he might have had the hardest hit ball tonight by an Astro, and it happened to go for a double play to end an inning. A lot of 50-50 calls didn't go our way. Verlander, who's been Cy Young this season, who, yes, had a bad game against the Mariners, but then turned it around and had an amazing game against the Yankees, blows up at an inopportune time. And you might say, well, Weston, he always pitches bad in the World Series. That's not a thing. Is it a mental block for Verlander? Possibly. But that's not just a... You can't just place that on a thing. You might say Dusty had some mistakes. And yeah, he did. And I'm not going to say he didn't. But through 7 games, Dusty's managed amazing. Was this bad? Yeah. But this is not a one individual wears it. Anyone wearing that jersey that has the name Astro across it wears this loss. But the positive is, all of those same people that sport the name Astros across their jersey also plays for the most well-rounded team in Major League Baseball. With an amazing rotation, an amazing bullpen, an amazing hitting staff. This was a wake-up call for the team to hopefully knock the sense into them earlier than it did in 2019 and 2021. Because you got to come into tomorrow as the Astros fully engaged. From the first pitch to the last pitch, you have to be fully into it. The Astros team checked out at points in this game. Look at the team in the 10th inning. We were only down by 1 run. Bregman was on base. He was in scoring position, and we still looked meh. Faces in the dugout were not that of urgency. It was, we'll get him tomorrow. You can't have that. Because, yes, this was game 1, so you do have a tomorrow. But very, very soon, there could come a game where there is no tomorrow if you lose. And that's what bugged me the most about this game, was the fact that the Astros' main problem of engagement is the same problem we had in 2 previous World Series losses. That's what got me the most, is that the problem that's been the problem for years remains, and we haven't fixed it yet. Luckily, there are at most, there are 6 more games, so you can easily correct that if you're the Astros. Because you do have another game at home tomorrow, before you have to go on the road. Is tomorrow a must-win game? Oh, God, yes. It is an absolute must-win game. But if there's any team that can turn it around from a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss like this, it is none other than your Houston Astros. And so, multiple things can be true. This was a bad loss. Got to give your heads a thorough shake. But they are still a great team. And despite one bad loss, that does not make them a bad team. And they can easily, and quite probably, rebound tomorrow night. 8:03 Eastern, 7:03 Central, the Astros in what could very well be a must-win game send Framber Valdez. The Phillies will send Zach Wheeler. I'll be here during the game for a stream, and I'll be here afterwards to recap it. But that's all I have to say for the evening. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Stros.